Hey, I'm GoClo, and today I'm going to take you through a little core activation and stretching session. Everybody's been feeling really tight in their low back, so I wanted to give you some exercises to really get your core activating so that your low back feels really nice and supported. And then as well, we're going to do some nice juicy stretches to move through the body, things that feel really good in this challenging time. So let's get started. Come over onto your hands and knees. You're going to have your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Arch through the back, look up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, nod your chin to your chest. Really round that spine, especially that low back, tucking that tailbone right under. Inhale, arch through the back, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round the spine. Pull those abdominals up and in. We'll move through that one more time like that. Shoulder blades draw down your back as you arch. And then really draw those abdominals in as you round, and then take that into a circle. Press the rib cage to the side and circle the ribs up and around, allowing your head to follow with the movement, getting this nice juicy movement through the spine. Head can follow with, and then reverse it the other way. Big circles up and around. One more like this. It doesn't matter what it looks like. No one's watching. And then come to the center. Hands under shoulders. Good, knees under your hips. You're going to tuck those toes under. Pull the abdominals in. So think about belly button pulling in towards your spine. Lift through your chest and lift and hover those knees just a few inches up above your mat. Now hold it there. Lift through that chest and breathe. Holding it. Good. Wrap those abdominals in. Keep the gaze just forward of your fingertips and hold for 5, breathing for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one, drop those knees down, untuck the toes, arch through the back, and then round that spine. Coming back to that halfway point again, lengthening through the chest, open the heart forward, tuck those toes under, lift those knees up to a hover again. We're going to try and keep the pelvis level. Now, if this is enough for you, stay here. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, tap your chest with your left hand, place it down, and then with your right, place it down. Imagine you've got your morning smoothie balancing on your low back here. You don't want to let it spill. Good. Stay controlled. No rocking from side to side. We're here for 4 and 3 and 2. Last one here, place it down. Drop the knees down, toes together. Sit back towards your heels. Open the knees really wide here, as wide as your mat, and fold forward into a child's pose. Breathe here, forehead rest down onto the mat. Deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let it go. See if you can crawl the fingers forward just that little bit further, but keep the hips heavy onto those heels. Deep breath in and out. Let it go. Walk your hands back in towards your knees. Come on up and then swing your legs through and come and lie down onto your back all the way down. Back of the neck nice and long. Good. Chin slightly tucked. Knees bent, hands down by your sides. We're going to find a neutral spine here. So what we're going to do is flatten the low back down in towards the mat. So there's no space between your low back and the mat. And then do the opposite. Arch through your low back, creating lots of space between your low back and the mat. We flatten. We arch. One more like that. And then find the halfway point between those two positions. So we've just got this little bit of space between the low back and the mat. We're going to activate through the core. Think about the belly button drawing in towards the spine, and that sort of drawing in sensation is going to activate through your deepest abdominal muscle, your transverse abdominals. We're going to float the left leg to tabletop and then the right leg to tabletop. Now hold it there. Think about your thighs sinking down into your hip sockets. Your rib cage is heavy, hands relax down. We're going to tap the left toes towards the mat. And then we're going to float them straight back up. And then the right toes. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale as they lower. Think about that lowering coming from the thigh. So it's actually a movement that comes from the hip joint. And you're thinking about the thigh reaching away from you and then pulling back in. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, abdominals draw in to lift that leg back up. The head and the neck are relaxed down in towards the mat underneath you. So keep that softness through the upper part of the body. And breathe through the movement. That's the most important part. Don't forget to breathe. We're gonna go one more here on each side. Last one here. And then one by one, lower the feet all the way down. 1 and 2, and just allow your knees to rock from side to side. Shake it out. All right, knees back up towards the ceiling. This time, hands come behind the back of the head. They interlace. Thumbs point down the back of the neck. So you've got lots of support here for your head and your neck. Grow tall, still lengthening through your spine, and find a curl up. Now hold in your curl up and make sure you haven't lost that little bit of space between the low back and the mat. Curl as high as you can before you feel like that little bit of space wants to drop down, and then hold it there. Allow your head to be heavy in the hands here, so relax it down a little bit. Think about the sternum reaching towards those thighs. Hold it there. We lift one leg to tabletop, the other leg to tabletop, and we're going to do the same thing from here. Inhale, the toes tap. Exhale to lift. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. And you should feel like you can engage a little bit more into your abdominals, because when we find this curl, it engages a little bit more into our more superficial abdominals, and it might help us to find that connection, working into the abs and into our core, and maybe staying a little bit more out of those hip flexors. Breathing through it. Can you curl a little bit higher? Really nice. Keep it going. We're going to go one more here on each side. Last one here. And then lower the feet all the way down, head down, and just again, rock it out side to side. All right, last one here in this series. Hands stay back behind the back of the head. We curl the head and the chest up. We float those legs to tabletop. This time, knees and feet squeeze together tight. Curl a little bit higher. Both of the toes are going to lower towards the mat. Lower the head and the chest about halfway, and then pull the knees back up, curl back up. Inhale, toes lower, head and chest lower. Exhale, lift. Now, the further the range you go with those toes down towards the mat, the more challenging this is going to be. So you can choose what feels good for you, but always come back to what's happening through your low back, making sure that that low back isn't arching any more than just that little blueberry of space between your low back and the mat. We're here for another 4. Breathe through it, and 3. Last 2. Last one like this. Bring those legs up. One by one, lower the feet down, lower the head down, and just allow those knees to rock from side to side. All right, let's stretch it out a little bit now. From here, you're going to allow your knees to fall all the way over to the left, and lift your hips slightly and allow your body to rock over onto that left hip. Open your arms to a cactus position and take your gaze over your right shoulder, feeling that nice spinal rotation. If you want to make this stronger, you can take the right foot over the left, feeling that strong stretch, and try and draw the right shoulder down in towards the mat. Hold it there in that twist, allowing your body to just sink and melt into that deep rotation, and breathe. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Let it go. And again, deep breath in through your nose and out. Stack the legs on top of each other if they're not. Take it back through the center, and we're going to roll it over onto the other side. Roll onto that right hip. Allow the knees to fall over to the right. Take the gaze over your left shoulder and hold it in that twist. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. Enjoy that rotation and allow your body to just melt into that twist. Enjoy that stretch. If you want to take the left leg over the right, you can, allowing it to drop up and over. Otherwise, just keep the knees stacked. Deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. One more like that. Deep breath in and out, let it go. Coming back to the center, hug your knees in towards your chest, give yourself a little hug, and then start to rock up and down through the length of your spine, bringing yourself all the way up into sitting. Thank you so much for joining me for that core activation and stretch session with Booty. I'll see you soon.